Hey, welcome everyone. Tom here from Park Avenue Trading, your chief dealer, keeping you sane in these insane markets. Had many technical difficulties this morning. I hope that this one works out. It is 8:24 in the morning on November 26, 2024. I did this video. This is the third time I'm doing it. So I did it really early this morning and had a great trade call. Said sell short at 161, like 85. We're going back down to the 161.10 level. Yeah, well, okay. That's right now that stands as a bunch of bull-loney because we can't rely on that because there was no sound on the video, so I could have been saying anything. So anyways, it stands right now. I'm going to start it off with, let's go to euro dollar. Let's start off with euro dollar. Then we'll get into the crosses. All right. So euro dollar has basically showed a little bit of strength, surpassing this top here at 105.30, yesterday's high. As you can see right now, the queen's saying no. The king came up. Didn't close above it, though. And the queen is saying no. Right now, the euro dollar needs to hold above 104.70. That is the important point for the euro dollar. If it breaks below 104.70, it's showing that it's going weakness again, going back down into the lower part of the range, potentially to 104 the figure. If we break 104 the figure, we're looking at probably 103. I would have to think we're not probably going to go. We could attempt this 103.33 again, but I would think before that we'd have a short stop at like 103.49, 103.50. If that goes, then it's opening its way up to 102.80. Okay. On the weekly, it is in a bearish leg. It basically, the tone is bearish. It's starting to recover a little bit. I was kind of happy about that and respect that. Thinking that the Continental's not crashing would mean that we're getting closer to a peace agreement over in the Ukraine. It really hasn't broken out of the big rectangle it's been trading in, the lower rectangle that we talked about yesterday. So if you haven't seen yesterday's video, go check yesterday's video out. Pretty important video. So the important point of the day is 104.75. If it breaks below 104.75, it's showing weakness again to 104 the figure. There is definitely resistance at 106.20. It's right up here. So if we can hold this and we start trading up, we're trading up to the 106.20 level, which there's some decent resistance there. Let's go to good old sterling dollar. Okay. Sterling dollar. Doing the same thing the euro dollar did. It needs to hold 125, say 45 today to show any strength. Let me get a better number. Yeah, I can't get a better number. So basically what I'm doing is I'm looking at this structure right here. It's kind of very similar to the euro dollar structure, right? Okay, so I'm really focusing in on these three bars right here. This is hourly, okay? This is what was once called and still is called, it may not be politically correct, but it was called Three Little Indians. Why they called it that? I don't know. That was a term that they came up with back in on the trading floor way back when, maybe in the 1940s or something like that. But what I'm doing is I'm marking out of the three bars, I'm just marking the close. So I'm saying that's the important close that, you know, if it was to break down through this level, this is the important point, 125, say 45, 125, 40. If it was to break down through this level, we're probably going back down towards this low bar's close right there, which is, let me shut this off. 125.13. If that breaks, it's opening its way up to 124.41. So the important point on a day right now, it's kind of far away, you know, for a day trader. It's 125. Well, it's only 40 somewhat points away. So the point is like 125.40. Got to hold above that to show strength. If it doesn't, it's breaking down lower 125.13 is the real warning level. Breaks the 125.13. It's opening up 124.41. Let's move on over to good old dollar yen. All right, dollar yen. Wow. Okay. Dollar yen on a weekly, like the weekly analysis was that it is bullish. However, I'm going to give you the main point in dollar yen that's holding this whole thing up is right here, 121.26. That is the main like root point that holds it up in a bullish tone. If it was to break that, it's saying it's no longer bullish. It's bearish. It's people are going back to the yen for safety. Okay, and you could start to see it happening in basically the crosses. You know, they're selling off sterling yen, which has been in a bearish tone. Same thing, selling off euro yen, which has been in a bearish tone, and it's still continuing. So, in order for dollar yen to really show any strength whatsoever, right now it's got to get above 153.80. Then, you know, it's got resistance at 154.70 up top. If it breaks that, you know, there was a resistance point at 155.10. That's still good. 155.10. 155.10 right there. So really, this thing is trading right now, it's saying it's trading between 152.23 and 155.10. It can go to 152.23. It would be a good shakeout. You know, maybe creating a market paradox. In other words, markets driven down lower to create better buying opportunities for the strong hands. However, that main point is 151.22. If that level goes, the bullish scenario exactly starts to evaporate at that point. So dollar yen, the important point on the day right now is 153.70. Probably, you know, you could be a little aggressive with it and go a break of say 50 would be like the warning. So a break of 153.50 would be a good idea that, oh, we could potentially get up through the 70 and then go to like 154.70 again. So dollar yen is still in a bullish tone, but it could easily retrace to 152.23 without a problem, which would be a good shakeout. But overall, we got to watch the crosses, you know, and we'll move over to sterling yen right now. Okay, so we'll do sterling yen. All right, sterling yen right now, it needs to get above 193.35 to show any type of strength right now. It has support at 192.72. If it was to break that, it's opening its way up to 192, the figure. Okay, so it's showing some, you know, it has been a week. We said yesterday, the level that we had yesterday is 193.85. We said if it broke 193.85, it was going down to 192.70. It did do it. It took a long time to do it, but it did happen. Now, since we hit the support point, you know, basically the to and fro of the market basically says, well, we got to get above like 193.35, stay above it to show any strength to get back to 194.40 potentially. Okay. It all depends. Now, cable is starting to come off again. You know, it's staying in the range. It's basically still a dead currency. It's like trading right now at 125.87. Just can't sustain any rally. Same thing with euro dollar. Just can't sustain rallies. So that's where we stand in sterling yen right now. Got to get above 193.35. Let's go over to euro yen. Okay. All right. Euro yen had a sell signal at 161.50. Said we could potentially go back down to 160.70. Right now, the 50 level basically, I would leave it the same. It would need to get above 161.50 right now to show any strength to 162.13. As it stands right now, it's got support at 160.70. If it was to break 160.70, it's trading down to 159.87. So the important point is 161.50. I had a good trade call this morning, but unfortunately there was no volume. All right. So anyway, please, if you like what you see, give me a big thumbs up. Share my videos far and wide because I want to build a big trading community. Also, head on over to Park Avenue Trading, get yourself a free ebook. Get on my email list. Get on it. I send out some really good emails. Also, remember always, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.